I want to give you some practical stuff like we do on here. 3 strategies to break out of the procrastination cycle. How do you get out of the spiral that happens frequently when you are so busy that you seek out distractions and then you lose time, you waste time, you feel bad about that, and then you feel more busy and round you go. So first strategy is define realistic priorities. So there's 2 parts to that. Defining priorities. I think very often we go around with a vague sense of priorities. Like, I think I should be working on this today, maybe that. And so you start your day already in this fog of what is the thing I'm supposed to be doing. And without defined priorities, you seek out something easier for your mind to grasp onto. I've heard it said that procrastination is your brain telling you don't have a plan, right? When you don't have priorities, it's just going to be easier to pull out the phone. It's going to be easier to do the thing that feels more fun in the moment. So start with defining priorities, but I say define realistic priorities because this is the other half of the equation. You can define priorities for your day like I do. I start the day and I look at all the things I need to get done and I take the top 3 and then I circle one of those and say, I'm going to get this one thing done today. No matter what else happens, this is the one thing I'm going to get done today. And these other 2, these are secondary to that. I'm going to try to get those done too, right? Clear priorities. But what happens if I say, here's 10 things I'm going to do today? A lot of you do this, I bet. You go and you make your to-do list for the day and you're like, maybe I can do 100 things? Like maybe I can mow the lawn and do the laundry and I can complete that project and I can write an article and I can call 3 friends and I can volunteer with that thing at church and then I can go to the gym and then, it just goes on and on and on. And it's totally unrealistic. No person can do all of that in a day. And so a lot of us get on the procrastination spiral, not because we're lazy in our ambition, not because we're saying, oh, I'm too lazy to even try to do more things, but actually because we're too ambitious in what we think we can get done, which ironically leads you to procrastinating because you look at that big list and you're just paralyzed. I have all these things I have to do today. Well, I'll do none of them, right? So that's the first thing. Define realistic priorities for your day. And you can do this at the day level, the week level, the month level. Like I think it's good to have goals. It's good to have projects, but actually write down what the priorities are, but make the list shorter than you think it should be because you can always come back and add other priorities later. But what you want to do when you're defining priorities is give yourself really clear direction so that your mind doesn't default into procrastination because it says, I don't know what I should be doing. The second strategy for breaking out of the procrastination spiral is acknowledge distractions as a threat. I think a lot of us don't take distractions seriously. What I mean by that is we kind of just think of our lives as like, I'm just floating through, just doing the next thing. Yeah, I said this was the thing I was going to work on today. Yeah, I said this is the priority, but does it really matter? Like if I just waste a little time here, a little time there. I think that for Christians who view our whole lives as a stewardship, if we actually think that way, we would see distractions as a greater threat. What I mean is, if you see the way that you use your time as unto the Lord is part of your faithfulness to Him. I want to do excellently at work. I want to do well in the home. I want to steward my body well. And I want to focus and do those things well. Then distractions that are a threat to me doing those things well are a threat to my faithfulness. Distractions are keeping you from glorifying God in your life. You want to tame those distractions. You want to do the things that hold them at bay. And so what does that mean in practice? In practice, put your phone away. In practice, keep distractions out of your life. When you go to focus on a certain thing, don't have a bunch of other things that are going to tempt you to do it. When you set out and say, I'm going to work on this today in my home, go and do it with focus and have that mindset above all of this is the priority. I'm going to do this right now. And distractions are a threat to me doing that well. They're a threat to my faithfulness. The third thing I would add is schedule your breaks. Now this, I've always heard this my whole life. People talk about time management. Every book on time management is like, make sure you schedule downtime for yourself. And to me, that always seems so lame. Like, I want to be a free spirit, man. When the moment strikes, I want to be able to relax. And when it's time to work, I want to feel like, listen, that's kid stuff. If you're just living your life by your feelings, that is not going to lead to a life of faithfulness. It's not going to lead to a life where you're doing the things set before you with excellence. But also, if you never take a break, if you, like we talked about in the previous episode, if you always feel guilty when you're not overworking, you've got this thing all mixed up. As Christians, as creatures made in the image of God, we do require rest. And not just rest, but as we've talked about before, recreation. A part of your worship to God is enjoying the good things he's given you. So yes, take breaks. Yes, relax. Yes, entertainment to some degree is good for you, right? To kick back, spend time with friends. Those things are good. Productivity does not equal working 100% of the time. But what I would suggest to you is if you're resonating with this thing of, hey, I think I'm on this procrastination spiral. I've got too much I'm doing, and it's leading me to seek out distractions when I feel overwhelmed, which is leading me to waste time, which is leading me to feel more busy. If you resonate with that, you've got to take care of the busyness problem. This is one of the ironic things, and I think why we don't take care of this problem sooner, is the solution to the procrastination spiral is actually not doing more. We think that the problem with procrastination is I'm not doing enough because I'm procrastinating. But I think you need to flip it around and say, what if I'm procrastinating because I'm trying to do more than is possible, and then I'm just sort of hitting my psychological breaking point and realizing I can't do all this and throwing up my hands, as it were, and just defaulting to some distraction. So instead, like we talked at the beginning, define realistic priorities, but also define when your downtime is. Put breaks into your calendar throughout the day. Have a decision. This is especially true for business owners and those in ministry. Have some brackets to your day. This is when I start work. This is when I end work. This is when I take my breaks. I'm going to plan for walks. I'm going to plan for time with friends. I'm going to plan for time for entertainment. And what happens is when you do this, you can actually enjoy those things without the guilt that comes when you're doing them when you're procrastinating. You can actually say, no, right now, relaxing is the priority. I'm not procrastinating from what I should be doing because I've decided in advance that right now, what I should be doing is taking a break. And I tell you, it's groundbreaking. It's world changing. It will completely change your relationship to relaxing. A lot of you I know who are into productivity have like a guilt complex around it, and you're not thinking about it right. No, when you stop working, that's part of your stewardship before God. That's part of the deal. But plan for it. And then you won't feel like, like you do when you procrastinate, where you feel like, oh, I'm like sneaking away to a closet to munch on stolen time. I stole this from the time I should be given there. And so I'm secretly having this guilty pleasure of relaxing. No, that's not right at all. That's not how you should be thinking about it. Plan for it. And then you actually can enjoy it. And then it's actually more restful. And then you actually can rest and relax to the glory of God because you're focused on what you said you were going to be doing during that time.